Spiritual suicide is a term used to describe the act of intentionally dropping down a person's identity in order to connect himself with the higher consciousness. The concept of spiritual suicide can be understood in various ways depending on one's cultural, philosophical, or religious background. In today's Mystic Podcast, we will explore the real science behind spiritual suicide and thereby its consequences in the journey of self-realization. Warm welcome to Mystic Weekly Podcast on your YouTube channel Mystic World Life Solutions. In this beautiful journey of awakening with me, I'm Sakshi Narendra. Only man is capable of committing suicide. No animal, no bird, or anything in the existence is capable of doing this most culpable act of suicide. That is the glory of man. Only man can be capable enough to think that life is not worth living. Only man is capable enough to reflect that this life is simply futile. Ordinarily, when people commit suicide, they don't do it because they have understood life's futility. They do it only because they have understood this life futility and they are hoping that in another life, somewhere else, things will be better. The spiritual suicide, in fact, means that a person has come to understood that not only this life is futile, but life as such is futile. And then he starts thinking of how to get rid of being born again and again, and how to get rid of getting into the tunnel of body and of being confined and engaged, and then it starts thinking of how to remain absolutely free without any form. This is what moksha is. This is what liberation is, or you can call it salvation. Man identifies himself with body and more so with the name. That is his identity. The dropping of the head is one of the most difficult things because you are identified with the head. Once you are afraid of death, you are bound to be afraid of life. The art of dying is the art of living also. Dying as an ego is being born as a non-ego. Dying as a part is being born as a whole. Dying as man is a basic step towards being born as a god. Unless a seeker learns to die, he will never be able to live. He will never be able to know what life is. A seeker who is able to die is the one who is able to live, because life and death are the two aspects of the same coin. One can choose both or drop both, but they come together in one parcel. They are not different things. Spiritual suicide, to my understanding, is self-annihilation in the presence of live and enlightened master. Upanishad means sitting near the master. Spiritual suicide is Upanishad in action. In ordinary suicide, a person simply changes the body. But when I am talking about spiritual suicide, I am talking of the ultimate suicide. Once the seeker dies the way I am talking about, he will never be born again in life. You will be one with the cosmos. You will be formless. The understanding of spiritual suicide will lead you to everlasting happiness in life. A man can never be happy in the body because it is such a confinement. All around our walls, you are forced into a prison. It does not look like a prison because the prison walks with you. Wherever you go, it goes with you. So you don't feel that it is like a prison. Once you have known a life without the body, once you have become capable of getting out of the body, even for a single split moment, then you will see how you are confined, how you are imprisoned. The body is a bondage, the mind is a bondage, but you have to understand and experience yourself. Remember one thing, you can be forced into bondage from the outside, but you cannot be forced into freedom from outside. Somebody can force you into a prison cell, that can be done, but nobody can take you out of a prison cell if you don't desire. If you want to remain in the prison cell, you will find some other prison cell somewhere else. You may escape from one prison, but you will get into another. You can easily change your prisons, but that doesn't make any difference. Each life you have been in a prison, sometimes as a man, sometimes a woman, sometimes black, sometimes white, sometimes Indian, sometimes Chinese, sometimes American. You have moved in all the forms possible. My whole purpose through this series of weekly mystic podcast here is to awaken you to abundance. The purpose is to push you towards death, to push you into the abyss of the unknown, to push you into a zero experience. We in India call it samadhi. It is a zero experience where in a way you are and in a way you are not, where you are empty of all content, just the container has remained, where all writing from the book has disappeared, just the book remains empty. That's the real Bible, the real Veda. When all writing has disappeared and the book is absolutely empty, all the contents, all the thoughts, mind, emotions, desires have disappeared, and there is only a pure witnessing consciousness, empty of all content. This is what I call the abyss. Spiritual suicide is an exercise to empty our head. Nothing to lose, just the head. You are the head. Your thoughts, your ideologies, your religion, your politics, your scriptures, your knowledge, your identity, everything is in your head. How can you drop it? Just think of dropping the head. Then who are you? Without the head, you are nobody. We have to grow into understanding. When you can grow a new head above this head, only then can you drop this head. That's the whole effort of meditation, to help you grow a new head which does not need thoughts, does not need ideologies, which is pure awareness and enough unto itself, which needs no external influence to live, which lives from its own innermost core. When you have grown a new head, the old can be dropped very easily. It will drop on its own accord. Each moment that an individual passes through, whatsoever you have lived, whatsoever you have experienced, becomes your ego. You have to discard it. Renunciation is not once and for all. You have to renounce every moment. Whatsoever is gathered, you have to renounce it. Only then renunciation remains a revolution. And not only do you have to renounce ordinary things of world, you have to renounce ordinary ideologies also, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Mohammedan. You have to renounce thoughts so that you can remain in a pure mirror-like reflection. Then your consciousness can remain undisturbed, uncolored by any thought. You can see into things directly and your consciousness is not distracted or distorted by any prejudice. Identification is the cause of all our sufferings. You are like a man in a cinema house laughing and crying with a picture, though knowing fully well that he is all the time in his seat and the picture is but a play of light. It is enough to shift attention from the screen to oneself to break the spell. The radical self-inquiry is not who am I, but where am I? When I am not there, then where am I even to inquire or do anything? Then everything is a happening. We then know by our own direct experience that the higher power is making everything to happen. The ego may say, but if I can't do anything and I am not even there, then what's the point? But no, it's total contentment, a total liberation from burden. It cannot be imitated by a piece of information or learning from the scriptures. It has to happen. Until then, there is a normal inquiry to keep inquiring into that I that seems to keep coming in between and abiding in the sense of pure existence. Thank you for listening to the Mystic Podcast. Stay connected next time. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the notification bell. Live with awareness, live in present, live in gratitude till we meet next time. Thank you.